So this is just going to be a quick video on a water pump removal and installation from a 2011 to 2016. You know, like all of us do, we come to YouTube and try to just look for a jump starter on the projects. I mean, stuff happens, trucks break, whatever. So there was some stuff on LMLs, LMMs, you know, and nothing really particular on just an LML. So just figured I would try to help anybody out that's going to be tackling this problem. Mine had a seeping problem from this hole here, so it was dripping coolant. So went ahead and I discovered it while I was doing a brake job on, this is one of my service trucks, and on one of my other videos we built the motor in my personal truck. So basically for this, I'm going to just kind of explain just a quick little rundown on tools and stuff needed. Pretty simple, straightforward job. Just, you know, you got to have Chinese hands and kind of just, you know, just do your best. So basically right now I have the new water pump already in. And in order to do that, basically you had to start off by removing the coolant first by popping that hose off down there in the corner. Letting it drain into a 5-gallon bucket, and then from there you have to, I went ahead and took off the top radiator from here to there, and then gives you a little bit more room to kind of work with stuff. And then I went ahead and popped the fan and clutch off, and now you can get these big fancy tools, or I've had this since I've done a few of them on, you know, like my other truck when I built it, needed to get it off, get the engine out, lift the cab. So you can get this right here. It's a Duramax water pump pulley and fan removal tool. It holds basically this clutch like this, or the pulley, and then you could break the fan bolt over there with, I used a 1 7/8 wrench and just gave it a little and off it came. So got that off, and then you got to fight with these son of bitches, the radiator shrouds. You got to pop these two, a clip off from here, clip off from there on the other side, and then there's these two of these little pain in the butt clips right down under there, the little push things. These right, there's somewhere, but basically these right here. And then they're tiny ones. So there's two on each side, and it basically comes apart. There's the lower half down there, and then a lower half over there, and then basically you got to unbolt 13 millimeter. There's 4 or 5 different spots on this right here. So there's 4 that bolt to the motor, and then that comes out as one complete thing. Now before you get going any further, just so you don't have any problems, and of course, you know, you got to take off your TCM, set it to the side. There's some Freon lines going to the compressor that clip against the radiator shroud, and coolant lines, stuff like that. Just get everything off the shroud so you can lift it up. Pretty explanatory. Then basically from there, you're going to put the truck up in the air. I'm going to pause it real quick and kind of show you what I did here. Okay, now it's up in the air a little bit more. I can only lift it so much because I have a topper on this truck, and, you know, didn't really plan for this. But hey, it still helps having a lift. So, but anyways, up underneath here, let's grab a light. All right, so then you're going to want to pop off your inspection cover right here on the side of your transmission. And then you're going to want to put in the flywheel tool right there. This little flywheel tool that grabs the flywheel. And then you're going to want to try to break the crank pulley loose right here. And this is going to use a 36 millimeter 12-point socket, and I have a 3/4 inch breaker bar, a 3/4 inch socket, and a cheater bar, because you can't really get an impact in there, and that seemed to break it loose. So after I broke that loose, you can now get to other things, and I'll continue pointing them out. And tip for you guys that have lift or not have lift, it's easier if you take your front tires off and set it on the ground, so you don't have to be 10 feet up in the air to work on your stuff. So after that, you're gonna take off your coolant line there. Take off your coolant line there. After you get the van shroud out and all your pulleys and stuff, or basically get your coolant line dropped. And then next step is going to be to remove this, which there's a bolt here, and there's no pattern to them. They're all the same size. There's 3 bolts here, and then there's 2 nuts. They're all 15 millimeters. So 15 millimeters. There's a nut there. If I can't video and do this all at the same time, but you'll get the hint. This pulley for the fan, clutch fan, has to come off. So you have to take that off after you take the crank pulley off. And then basically you're going to take these 2 bolts off. And now there's 2 bolts on the back side of this pulley here, where this connects to that tube right there, those 2 studs. And now when you loosen those up, there's a little PCV valve hose, 2 10 millimeter bolts, one holding it into the engine, one holding it on the side. It's a pain in the butt to get to. You just got to reach up the driver's side underneath it, loosen those, and then as soon as you loosen those 2 things over there, that's pretty much the hardest part on that side. I mean, you could take more stuff off your hot side, cold piping, if you want to, just to give yourself some more room. But another tip too is when you get a new water pump, you're gonna have to remove these studs. I already put it in the new water pump. It's an E8 socket, and basically you got to remove those out and then put them in the new pump. Then I went ahead too and got a new seal kit, did all the seals that I took off, and before you're putting in the new pump. So from there, basically you got the pump in, and then it's just reverse back to putting everything together and torquing everything down. The water pump is torqued down to 18 foot-pounds of torque. Everything around it's 15, 18 foot-pounds. And then from there, just fill up your coolant system, torque the harmonic balancer back down to I think it's 265. Don't count me on that. I just looking it up as I go, but I think that's what I went to. And upon taking off the stock one, I had this for my built truck, but when I had it built and they balanced it, they use a different crank harmonic balancer. So this one here is going to be going on this one here. So hopefully it lasts. And just so you guys know, this water pump, this truck has 360,000 miles on it, and it's still a CP3 or CP4 conversion, and I run this thing like a dog. Like, I mean, I take care of my stuff now, but oil changed every 5,000. You know, I don't beat on it really bad, but the power is there if I need it, and I just, you know, just run with it. I mean, even with this topper and everything, I mean, this truck gets by itself like 13, 14 miles per gallon roughly without towing anything. When I'm towing, normally it depends on what I'm towing, but it's like 10, 11. So not the greatest for the wind resistance on the topper, but you know, it's been a great truck. And you know, I have a CP3 over there and injectors, you know, waiting for this thing to go. I just, you know, not sort of lazy, it's just I have a family, I have a life, I'm a contractor, and I'm lucky enough to own a lift, and just I do my best to save as much money as I can to do it myself. So basically this is just a simple water pump installation. You guys are more than welcome to comment and leave me any questions or anything like that, and I'll do my best to check it from time to time to see if I could respond to you guys to help you out. But it's pretty self-explanatory to do the water pump. Now, I didn't know it was running just fine. Just the other day I noticed, like, I had the truck running for a while, the AC was on, I just left, and I was just like, it's kind of a big puddle. But I didn't do the test. I mean, it's just not ideal, but I just figured it was just, it was 80-90 degrees outside, and it's just like, condensation's a thing. And then I went to go pull it in the shop, and I was like, that's orange. Don't tell me. I was like, I just had one of the hoses where it wires off from the factory. It's all one piece hose that goes to reservoir, that goes to your lower radiator hose, and all with the PPE silicone kit, because I don't want to have to keep doing stuff twice. So I mean, it replaces every single hose, and it's all one piece hose. But these have like different spots to where if one hose would break, they're kind of coupled together and stuff like that. And I didn't tighten one of the fittings, and unfortunately that wasn't it. I tightened it and it was coming up top. I traced it down. I'm just like, it's got to be the water pump or a seal or something like that. And then when I took it out, I saw where it was seeping through the seep hole thing. I'm not sure what the reason why that was, but no noise, no nothing, no overheating. And for a while I kept having to put a little bit of antifreeze in it here and there. And I'm just like, 350, 400,000 miles. I'm just like, well, I guess it's time for girl to get some head gaskets. And I'm gratefully that she's still kicking along. But when it comes time to do head gaskets, you're damn right I'm doing it myself. When I was doing my truck on the other side, I had a shop, build the motor for me, because I don't have machine stuff to balance everything and stuff like that. But a simple head gasket job, I mean, I'll just buy 2 new heads. And in here, I still got, fresh head gaskets waiting. So when it comes time, she'll get them. But yeah, hopefully I was able to help you guys out on the water pump deal. Trucks are pretty easy to work on. You just kind of have to have some general experience and a little bit of a budget for some tools to help your life a little bit. But other than that, I hope I help. Thanks.